We hope that you've all had time to visit the sponsors and interact with them. Hopefully we'll have time for questions today, but if we don't, you will be able to see how to contact the representatives that we'll be seeing today, and you can always visit the channels in Teams as well and chat with them there, or even meet with them through video if you want to. Please don't forget to submit your answers to the treasure hunt, which closes at 12 o'clock today. So you've got a little bit more time to have a look for those characters if you haven't had time to do that yet, to be in with a chance of winning a prize. One of those prizes has been contributed by Henry Stewart Talks, who will be speaking today. And there are 4 other fantastic prizes as well that you can be in with a chance of winning. Okay, so without further ado, I'll introduce our first speaker, which is Jennifer Daniel from Henry Stewart Talks.
That's great. Thank you very much for the introduction, Nick. Okay, let me just share.
Oh, you're quite quiet, Jennifer. I'm sorry, I don't know if anyone else.
Is that a little bit better?
That's great.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, that's great. And can you see my screen okay there now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, yeah, so I am Jennifer Daniel, Senior Account Manager with HS Talks, and today I'm just going to give you a quick introduction, into what HS Talks is, who we are and what it is that we publish and then provide to universities. So just got a few minutes, I'm going to dive right in. HS Talks publishes 2 online multimedia collections. So you can see them here. We've got the Biomedical and Life Sciences collection and the Business and Management collection. So these 2 collections focus on different subject areas, clearly, but the content and the style of the content is very similar across both. So what I'm saying is applicable to both of these 2 collections. Now, I'm sure a lot of you here are actually already quite familiar with the collections. I was looking through the delegate list and I saw there are a number of people here from universities which already subscribe to the resource. But for those of you who aren't so familiar with HS Talks, I'm going to answer 2 key questions today. So the first of them being, what are the collections? And so the second, being, why do universities subscribe? So to answer the first one, in brief, the collections are an online resource of high quality multimedia content. So this includes lectures, case studies, interviews, and that's interviews, both audio interviews and video interviews. And then this content is presented by world-renowned experts from both within academia and also within industry as well. Now, the vast majority of the collections is made up of the lecture content. So I've just included an example of the slides here. So these are audio lectures accompanied by animated slides, and these are all designed in-house so that the visual side of things has really enhanced the learning experience as well. So that's a very short snapshot of what the lectures are. So I'm just going to move on to kind of probably the more important question of why do universities subscribe? Now, the first reason being it enables faculty to quickly and easily find and embed high quality, professionally produced material to supplement their courses. So this is ideal for things like blended, hybrid and online courses. So it basically just saves faculty valuable time. They don't need to create their own content, which, as I'm sure you appreciate, can take an awful lot of time to do, especially to this kind of quality. It also gives faculty and students access to a really extensive and diverse range of different content from both with academics and also commercial individuals. So it gives them a snapshot of that kind of real life work. They don't have to travel, to conferences to see those kind of individuals, which obviously isn't realistic to be doing on a really large scale. And the third point being it offers an affordable, scalable solution to support your institution's digital strategy. I was at the workshop and I saw Ariel and Susan talking about how students have grown up in a digital world and have come to expect digital content within their university education. And that's definitely very true. And it's really where the collection can kind of come in and support that and provide this high quality content, which is what the students are looking for. So just briefly to give a summary of how the collections are used, there's 2 main ways in which the content can be used. The first being asynchronous. So, the primary way is probably flipped classroom. So getting students to watch lectures or parts of lectures or the case studies, which are a really great way of doing that before they come to class so that they can then use the class time in a more interactive way. So to stimulate discussion or focus on particularly challenging areas. but it can also be used to support peer-to-peer learning as well, and obviously to support active learning and all those kind of buzzwords. It's really great, and lots of opportunity, lots of different ways to do that as well. And the other way being in-class learning. So especially our extended form case studies, which are all 5 minutes or less. Often we have faculty who play these within their lectures. So again, it breaks up the class time and again, can really stimulate discussion in class as well with that. And we're always looking to support faculty throughout this. So we do actually offer a course matching service. So faculty can always approach us and ask us what content we have available for their classes, and we can kind of provide that to them. So again, the goal is to save faculty time here with being able to find things that be relevant and helpful for their courses. Now, the final thing I just wanted to highlight, obviously I understand this is a library conference, so I just wanted to highlight some of the key information that we have available for librarians. So you can see everything within the collections is available, can be embedded in discovery services and all these different things here. And all this information is available in a separate section within our website for librarians. It's right at the bottom there, so you can click through and have a little bit more of a look yourself. And I definitely would encourage you to do that, or chat with us in the our particular channel and Teams, or you're welcome to drop me an email as well, ask any questions after this. So I think, yep, that's it for that.
Fantastic, Jennifer, thank you. That was really interesting, and thank you also for keeping to time so well. Our next speaker today is Sally Allen from Brown's Books.
Right, good morning, thank you. So I'm just going to share my screen with you all. Fingers crossed this is going to work. Okie doke. I'll just check. Just bear with me a second. There we go. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant, thank you. So yeah, good morning everyone then. So thank you very much for joining the Silver Sponsor presentations. Just to introduce myself then, so I'm Sally Allen, I'm the Area Sales Manager at Brown's Books, and my presentation is very brief, but it's very exciting as well. So the theme of the conference then is New Beginnings. Brown's Books isn't new, but we've actually had some very, very exciting changes happening this year. So despite all the challenges that everyone has faced in our personal and our work lives in the past 18 months, we've got some very exciting news about our developments. So the biggest being our brand new home. So if I just flick through to the next screen. So a little bit of history about Brown's Books. So we are a family-owned business and owned by the 80 Little Group and Sons Limited, and the whole group is primarily book supply. So Brown's Books is an academic book supplier, and we just originally started trading as Brown's Books over 40 years ago from Hull in East Yorkshire. Originally it was based in a bookshop in the centre of Hull, but this year we actually moved to brand new premises and just on the outskirts. We're about 8 miles from the city centre on the banks of the River Humber. And yes, so we moved on the 9th of July. We started building October 2020, and we were up and running on the 9th of July. And so despite the pandemic, we were actually pretty much on target. We had a few issues getting some of the supplies in, but yes, on the whole, it went very smoothly. We managed to shut down just for one day, and that was just to get all the IT and the phone systems in. So come the following Monday, back up and running. And I'm actually here live. It's my very first time I've been here this week, and it is amazing. It's huge, and it's brilliant. I mean, some fantastic facilities, not only for our customers. So as you walk in the front doors, we've got a showroom. So that's going to be available in the future for libraries to come and visit us, to have a look at the books, to order books. But we've also got some event opportunities as well. So we've got lots of space. So if you wanted to perhaps have your own event, I'm sure we can certainly accommodate that in the future as well. So not only the facilities for libraries to come and visit us, obviously we've got the facilities here to ensure that we have efficient book supply routes as well, but also the staff. I mean, the staff have been very, very well accommodated here in terms of we have a quiet room. If you just want to go and read a book at lunchtime, we have noisy rooms, we've got pool tables, we've got table football. So it's something here for everybody. So not only have we got our brand new home that we've been very busy with this year, we've been doing a lot of building, so to speak, behind the scenes, and that is all based around new technology. So as the business has grown, we look after a variety of customers from early years all the way through to higher education. We also look after corporate libraries, government libraries as well. So there's something here for everybody. So we, as everything's grown, we've had to make sure that we've had the new technology to support it. So lots of exciting developments have also been happening. Sorry, I do apologise. I should have shown you that slide as I was talking, but I will briefly move through to the last slide. So yes, lots of technology, and I won't go through it piece by piece, but I think you get a flavour there, particularly with the ebook platform, BL eBooks, that we've been working on. But what we'll do, if you've got any questions afterwards, please do contact us. And on the last screen, it's just an overview of Brown's Books and what we do. Contact information there, and feel free to contact us if you've got any questions. So yes, it's a very brief presentation, but hopefully there's lots of interesting information there for you. But yes, and thank you very much.
Fantastic, thank you very much, and I'm sure people will be in touch through your channel if they have got questions. Okay, so now we've got Tom English from Gale.
Thanks, Nick. My screen has just disappeared, so I'm getting it back. Hopefully everybody can see that. Okay.
Yes, you're not in presenter mode yet, but yes, that's it.
Great, super. Okay, hi everyone. So I'm Tom English from Gale, as Nick has already mentioned. I'm assuming that most people will know who Gale is as a provider of primary source material. So I won't go into too much detail about an overview of the company. This is more to talk about a new approach that we are really adopting in terms of how we provide primary source materials, because we provide so much and across so many different range of areas and time periods. We are becoming increasingly conscious of the need to help students get more from the primary resources that they do have. So we're working extensively on digital literacy and improving students' digital literacy. And so I'm not actually selling anything. You can't buy anything that I'm presenting. It's something that will be provided as part of the service for people who've got the specific archives that it concerns. But really, we started with a question. That question was, how can we help our student researchers get more from Gale Primary Sources archives? Now, some years ago, I had a conversation with an academic, and he said to me that every single year, students approach him with a question: how can I get a first on my dissertation? And the answer, as he said it to me, was quite simple. Tell me something I don't already know. Now, as a student of the humanities or the social sciences or whatever, you have to do something original in order to tell an academic credibly, with credibility, something that they don't already know. And so that means that primary source content is essential. It's really, really important, but it's also important that students are empowered to use that material effectively as well. So the solution that we've come up with at Gale is the Gale Primary Sources Learning Centres. Now, the learning centres aren't yet available, and they will be available for significant archives that we provide. But I'm just going to go through the premise to these learning centres. So the purpose of the centres is, there are about four main threads to break down in terms of what they're for. Essentially, it's to orient new users to the content and topics available, the sorts of topics that they can dig into in the specific archives that they're looking at. They can also get inspiration for new research topics, and they can also get guidance on how to use the archives themselves, and of course the primary source content itself. We also provide instructional material within there too. Now, we're not doing this off our own back just because we as Gale think it's a good idea. we've actually taken a cue from the ACRL, the Association of College and Research Libraries, and we've based the whole platform on their methodology, their guidelines for primary source research. So it starts off with conceptualization. So conceptualizing the primary source material, also helping them to find primary source documents, read, understand, and evaluate, and then also to use and incorporate into research as well. So a first look is available through here. I'm not going to do that now because I don't think we have time. These are the archives that are concerned. I've actually emboldened 2 of them there, which most institutions in the UK have, certainly university institutions have. So I've emboldened those there, the Burney Collection and the Times Digital Archive. When? End of October, that's when we're going to release it. Questions we'll say to the end, but this is just what it looks like in terms of the screen itself. So this is what the home screen will look like. So that 4-stage approach, then how we go through searching the archive, and then some sample topics to cover as well.
That's great, Tom. I'm just thinking a few of you have had links there in your PowerPoint, so perhaps if you uploaded your slides into your Teams channel, then people could have a look at those, or just post those links into the Teams channel if people want to follow those up as well. I think that'd be really helpful for people. Thanks very much.
Okay.
And the last talk we've got in this session is from Kortext, and that's Robin and Taylor.
Thank you, Nicola. I'm just finding out there. Let's put this on the screen. Okay, can everyone see that?
Looks good to me.
Brilliant. Okay, I just want to talk a little bit about the Kortext Student Ambassador Program, which we trialed last year and we're rolling out this year. So most of you either have a Kortext account or access Kortext via the CLA. Just to remind everyone who we are, #1 student content engagement platform, really committed to supporting your universities in your mission to educate the next generation of difference makers, providing a personalised, VLE embedded online learning space with an individual bookshelf for students, enables them to study anytime, anywhere, and ultimately delivering insightful data so you can see study patterns, behaviours, content usage. Academics can see that, librarians can see that to help you tailor the resources that you actually put out. But one of the key things, obviously last year, everyone went that extra mile to sort of provide learning resources to students who are working from home, and the efforts are truly amazing. I think as we move into this September, the learning from last year is really that, yes, the resources can be there, they absolutely need to be discoverable, but engagement is the thing that really matters, and that's really the core tenet behind our student ambassador program. Is the aim to get students engaged with the resources that are being provided by the library and provided by the university. And just a little thing from the GISC Digital Experience Insight, students are really calling for the basics to be right. So clear navigation to learning content. And again, another way to signpost that is an ambassador program. So what did that look like? So we just started last year at the University of Birmingham. It was a new program for us that we set up very quickly in response to the pandemic. We very much worked through the library, so this isn't an over-the-top program. It's working with the library. We had 80 applicants. We chose 8 students across 7 disciplines, and we interacted with them the whole way through. Just a little indication of how well it went. We did some social media training with them and asked them to post on their socials in April. And as soon as they did, we saw usage of the platform go up, just to see from that little diagram. But what I'd like to do is just introduce Taylor, who was one of our student ambassadors. She was a first-year student at Birmingham last year. And Taylor, can you just talk through your experience, A, of being a first-year student and being a student ambassador?
Hi, I'm Taylor, and my experience in my first year, obviously it was during the pandemic, and I didn't have a very good onboarding experience. I found that the induction week was mainly spent on introducing us to the staff and the structure of the program, rather than adapting to a university-style education or practical tips like writing essays, preparing for seminars, handling an online education, which was obviously particularly relevant in distance learning because there's no one around you to ask for help or no one sitting next to you in the lecture. And when it came to the reading for my course, obviously you're learning remotely, you don't have access to a library. And we were given links to our core reading on these random ebook websites that I'd never heard of. No one tells you anything about these websites or how to make the most of them. And I found some of them quite unintuitive, probably because I had no idea what I was doing and I didn't really have time to figure it out. This actually gave me quite a bad impression of ebooks because I just found them really frustrating that I couldn't really find a way to engage with them in the same way as print books, you know, like highlighting and annotating. I didn't really understand how to use these features on the platform. And I saw the Kortext Student Ambassador Program being advertised on Canvas and decided to apply mainly because I realized I hadn't really gotten involved with anything that year. You know, you're told you'll have so many opportunities at university, but when it's all remote and you're doing it from home, it's easy to just feel just distance from it all. I think that's what made the Student Ambassador Program so important for me, is that I felt like I was visible and that my opinion mattered. You know, when we had calls with the Kortext team, giving feedback and discussing the surveys we'd completed, you could see them taking notes and asking questions and being genuinely interested in our experience. And that was really nice to know that, you know, this platform is for me, for students, and the people making it are taking my feedback into consideration. And through the Student Ambassador Program, I actually learned how to use Kortext, and now I use it regularly, making full use of the range of features on the platform. And I can honestly say it really helps me when doing my assignments now. And through the program, I've met so many people, you know, different students who've had the same experiences as me, spoken to different people at Kortext, and now I'm here doing an internship, which, looking back to where I was, just seems completely unbelievable. And I think programs like this are just absolutely essential for showing students what they're really capable of outside of academics and the university bubble, as it's called.
Brilliant, Taylor, thank you. So just to finish off there, so we're taking the program from Birmingham this year. We're rolling it out to other large Kortext projects. If any of you out there want to get involved, then please get in touch with me. And I just wanted to finish, this was from another one of our partners. I've anonymized it. I'm sure they'd be happy for you to share, but I have anonymized it. Just really on the benefit of students engaging with an e-textbook. So the librarian at this institution was just looking to prove the value of what they'd done on e-textbooks, and really sort of contrasted the physical book that they had, where they had over, since 2013, 43 copies and 1,015 loans. Since they brought the textbook in at the start of this year, they'd had 1,800 study sessions and 522 annotations. She then asked the lecturer what they thought, and the lecturer came back with loads of positive comments. First time we'd had the textbook, we'd seen that students were actually interacting with it and then quoting parts of it on their work. And ultimately, as a final comment, we saw excellent grades for this year's examination. Yes, they did still have one, and I feel sure this is due at least in part to the availability of online text. So just to conclude, e-textbooks have so many benefits in terms of opening access to students, allowing them to study anytime, any place, and to use the functionality. But one of the key things we've got to do as a sector is ensure that students engage with these resources, and Student Ambassador Program, we feel, is a great way to drive that engagement. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Robin and Taylor. It's really helpful for us, I think, to hear student feedback like that. So thanks for that. So we are running very close to time, so we won't have time for any questions within this session, but you all know how to find the sponsors through their dedicated channels. So please do go and seek them out, ask any questions that you've got, see what information they have there in the channel for you. I just wanted to let you know as well that if you haven't quite finished the sponsored treasure hunt, then we have extended the deadline to 12:30 now to give you a little bit more time to gather your answers and submit your answers via the Google form. The next thing that we've got happening right now is the quiz, so we hope you can all join us for that. I'm sure John will give a couple of minutes grace for you all to go and grab a brew, have a comfort break. So thanks very much to all our presenters, and I'll see you all soon.